So this is Mellon and Fox's review. Hi, say hello, Mellon.
Hello.
For Flyknight, which we played. So let's try to do this. Objectively, does the game function as intended? Well, other than two bugs, mostly. We had an issue at one point with the fish being broken, and all of them were counted as flopping on land despite all being in the water. That happened.
Or being so deep you can't get them. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear any of that. Want to try saying that again?
Or being so deep in the water you can't get them.
Yeah, they weren't too deep. It's that they were on the bottom of the water flopping like fish. Because they counted as being above land. That's what happened. I figured that out when I fell into the water and died to look at what was wrong with the fish. Anyways. But the game does function as intended.
Yeah.
From its design. I love its old design. It does look like an older generation of game, which it was supposed to. So I'm not really sure there's a whole lot to talk about. It's like, does the game function as intended? Did it run smoothly? Yeah. Does the game's multiplayer run smoothly? I will admit I was a bit confused about the menus, but once I actually hosted it, it made perfect sense. Does the control scheme make sense? The control scheme makes perfect sense because there's almost not a control scheme at all.
Like, sometimes we got a little bit mad at it, but
I mean, in terms of control scheme, I think my biggest thing was I accidentally drank a potion once. Oh well.
Yeah.
When did we get mad at the control scheme? I remember getting mad at you constantly misunderstanding your weapons range, but I don't think I ever got mad at the control scheme.
The fishing rod incident where I was stuck holding a fishing rod and I couldn't fight again.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think that was less of an issue about control scheme, though. Yeah, when you were trying to catch a fish, your fish got stuck underground, and so you couldn't pull it in, but you didn't swap weapons, which I later proved allows you to, or I can't remember, did I prove or disprove that like, having a fish on your hook did not prevent you from switching weapons?
I think you could, but I couldn't. Like, I was hitting the button, wasn't working.
Right, which might have just been a controller only bug.
Yeah. I also don't know if we got it to work on your side, because I don't know if you hooked a fish and then tried to...
I hooked a fish and swapped weapons.
Okay, yeah.
Or I hooked a fish and attempted to swap weapons. I don't remember if we succeeded or failed. I'm going to look that up real quick and then edit this part out of the video. So yeah, no, that was apparently just a bug either for controller players. It might have just been a controller only bug, and that might have been it.
Yeah.
In terms of story, there's not really a whole lot of story available to the player. All you know is that Lunamoth did a thing to a deity of the flies, and thus all flies are wingless or now walks.
Yeah.
Oh, and that all the wasps and ants and everything else are slaves to the moth. Anyways, yeah. No, I'm not sure there's a lot of story to demonstrate in that game.
That was fun.
I do think it was amazingly balanced, though. Like, how they did all the, like, certain enemies are spell resistant, certain enemies are crush resistant, certain enemies are spell resistant. Like, they did a lot of balancing to that game to make it so that way you needed unique loadouts to fight everything. But since we kind of ran two different styles anyways, we could just rush and crush almost everything. And the Quarrel Preventer was such an amazing ring as well. Though it did not prevent the quarrel based off of... I think our largest fight was about that stupid fishing incident. And otherwise was just me generally yelling at you for always being outside of range, where you just kept swinging your weapon without getting closer to enemies.
Yeah, I always, for some reason, I was thinking my range was longer than it is.
And I mean, I can understand that, like, for the first swing, but by the fourth, my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I pretty much played as a role where it's like, oh yeah, you were going to be a frontline tanker. You were going to piss everything off and get into brawls. And somehow I was always the tanker. And you could, like, never hit. And so I expressed great amounts of frustration about that. Especially considering I was running light gear for most of the time. I was mostly running spell builds. But it was also a thing of, like, when you were shielding, you almost never parried, and you definitely didn't kick.
Yeah. I forget a lot of buttons.
I mean, I understand that, but it definitely was. I kind of wish the game had a magic spell for healing allies, even if there wasn't one for healing yourself, but a spell for healing allies would have just been so nice, because it would allow a playstyle like you where you were just running at things and hitting them directly without using your shield, because you really like that spear the Naginata blade. I don't know.
Yeah.
The menus were generally easy to use. Like I said, getting the multiplayer setup was a bit confusing until I actually launched a server for the first time and I figured out how it works.
Yeah. But it was smooth sailing from that.
And I mean, otherwise, it was a fairly straightforward and easy game. We ended up with a lot of arrows. We didn't, like, collect everything, but I'm pretty sure we found every single treasure chest.
We got all the stuff worthwhile.
We frogged. That happened. Frog 'em!
Yeah. Yeah, I went and got my 2 fish I missed. I hadn't gotten the carrot.
You hadn't gotten the carrot, and you also didn't catch the swordfish. Yeah. I think the weapon system and how it's portrayed, and the use and disuse of shields is all, and the parry system and the kicking system were all phenomenal. And the fact that the game translates so easily to PvP as well, because we did have a couple of fights around the fireplaces where it was just you on me. I could phrase that better, and I won't. I guess there were some key points I wanted to state to improve the game. Having a person being able to run healer if they wanted would have been a nice feature. There was definitely some issues with ledges, specifically standing around them, falling off them, and climbing up them. There was the issue with fishes that we had, especially controller-wise. And I think one of the biggest issues with ranged, specifically when it comes to bow, is nothing's really explained about how bows work. Because, like, what the hell's the difference between the basic bow and the mystical twig?
Yeah. I mean, we only found, like, 2 bows.
I mean, there's only the 2 bows in the game.
Yeah.
The game doesn't exactly have the largest array of weapons, but it's kind of whatever, because, I mean, they're mostly unique and they're all very fun, right?
Yeah. Definitely no reskins.
The stamina and weight system was well designed. Though I feel like the dung armor is just too heavy for its intended role. Because it's basically designed to allow you to be a frontline tanker and just not care about receiving blows, but hit back super hard. But it doesn't really block enough damage for it to do that. Especially spell-wise, right?
Yeah.
For the most part, the shields were fine, but it's just like there is a heavy bias towards a parrying system where you kick enemies and use light weapons with shields compared to any other setup.
Yeah.
The inability to regenerate magic also is greatly annoying. Before you get the ring that literally lets you regen magic.
Yeah.
The de-limbing system was cool.
Definitely.
All in all, for the simple game that it is and the cheap price that it was, I think Flyknight was worth it and is a good game.
Oh yeah, definitely worth the money.
I don't really have any like major compliments for the game, but I don't have any negatives about it either.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the bugs we encountered. But those are things that should just be fixed.
Yeah. It's also kind of understandable for the price we've paid for the game. So it's like, yeah. There's going to be little bugs like that where it's...
Anyways, I ran out of things to talk about. How about you?
Yeah, and I have to go now.
So yeah, Flyknight. It was worth it. It was fun to play. We beat it in only 2 streams, but to be fair, we streamed for like a grand total of 5 hours. Not a bad game. Was definitely fun. Hey, this is the HalfSaneFox, and thanks for watching. I'm going to end this video here, and if you like this content, I highly recommend that you check the VOD or just wait for the next episode to release. And maybe click on one of the end screen cards once those finally show up.